Watercooler, Watercooler, Watercooler.
Hello and welcome to Watercooler. Welcome back. This is episode 261, also known as 69 plus 69 plus 69 plus 54. Are we all here? Is that what's different? We're all here.
Crazy.
Well, my name's Chris Laxamana. You know how the show goes. I kick with my curled digital buds, Philly style. Drink some claw. We're all here. Caelan's here.
What's going on?
Insomniac's here. Ah, shit. Well, Gary's here.
What's up?
Matt's here.
Hey, brother.
Dawson's here.
Hey, brothers.
We're pretty much all here.
So
And
close.
What's happening? So, Dawson, Gary, my own, our backs are hurting. We were carrying the show all last week.
You know who else is hurting? Caelan and I for not being part of your key three that you guys kept talking about. That really hurt. A lot of talk about. We don't need flicking the bean. We don't need Shea Fondiler. We got everything we need
We
right
covered
here.
all of that. We covered it all.
Yeah.
And I think we did it glowingly.
We are the food guys and the wing guys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
Yeah, we did our wing
We
show,
are
which
Team
was
Wing. Yep.
which is pretty fantastic. Caelan, you missed it.
You know what? At least you
But
and
if-
Gary are wing guys, so
Yeah.
at least I can vouch for that.
If you
It better have been good.
if you need information on hot wings,
that's okay.
then you can just listen
You
to
can
that
come us.
podcast.
Listen to that. Do yourself a flavor and listen to that show.
wing
You'll
episode,
learn a
right.
lot about
Yeah.
wings. It's generally known as the wing episode in the podcast world.
Where are the best wings again? Remind me.
Oh, you got to listen to the show.
Yeah, you gotta listen to the show.
Yeah.
I can't give it away. I am upset, Caelan, because as you probably figured out, Matt has listened to the episodes.
Well, I'll go a step further. I'm upset with
That
Caelan
he
as well
missed.
because Matt actually was requesting early access to Patreon before it was even posted.
Wow.
Matt was hitting me up privately like, I'm going to need a link to that. I've got to listen, so please get me that.
Do you guys not do that when you're not on the show?
Caelan, yeah, did you?
No, I
where's
never
your
listened.
Oh, you guys
I
don't?
did not do
I
that.
do.
your Patreon link request?
I don't know. I guess I must have just forgot.
You
I
missed
don't listen
everything.
to podcasts.
Which reminds me, speaking of which, since I was a listener
Yes.
last week, I do have some listener comments of my own.
Oh
Unfortunately,
Exciting.
comments are closed.
no, we still let's just get into it then.
Let's do it.
Let's get into one of my favorite segments, the listener comments and clan mail.
Nope.
It's time for listener comments.
Should we start with Matt?
Yeah, I have just a couple.
Please.
Real quick. 2 quick ones. First, I don't know which show it was in, whether it was the Patreon one or not.
Well, Caelan should be able to help you figure
Yeah,
this
Caelan,
out.
I'm going to rely on you for this one. At a certain point, and I believe it was based on another listener's comment, you guys were talking about s'mores, and somebody said, hey, switch that piece of chocolate out with a peanut butter cup. You got yourself something delicious. And you guys applauded it. All three of you guys hesitating. We're like, that's amazing. Actually, that's even better than a s'more. That's how
I do
great
not
it is.
You must be-
recall
yes.
that.
I think you're talking about the.
I think you're embellishing a bit.
I
No,
did
no.
hear that. And
Matt is
then
not
I
embellishing.
remembered back
He's
to our first live show when I
Room 5.
mentioned switching the Hershey's bar with a Crunch bar, and Chris led the entire audience in a chant of "Boo this man," and I was booed off the stage.
that everything Matt
That
has
was
said
fun.
is completely true. Had you said switch it with a Reese's, we might have been hoisting you up on our shoulders
what it
at
would
that
have
live
been?
show. Yes. Yeah, you just
God
just
damn.
like in every dream sequence of those high school movies. We would confetti everywhere. It would have been a big celebration.
Yeah.
But you said Crunch Bar.
Yeah, I really fucked
Whereas
it up.
listener Jeff said Reese's.
It is kind of ironic that Chris was against the addition of rice. That's really what a Crunch Bar is. It's just milk chocolate with rice in it.
Yeah, the Rice Crisp. Which I am for a Crunch Bar. I love a Crunch Bar. Just, I mean, if you're going to do a s'more.
Crunch Bar is great. Crackle
Yeah.
might be better.
It's just, it's too close to traditional. Whereas, if you're gonna take a risk, if
you're gonna-
swing for the fences, baby,
Yeah.
get some peanut butter. And you're, I think you're talking about the Sajef, which we
Correct. That's
yes.
what you guys called it. The
That's
Sajef.
right.
Correct.
Yeah.
You want to go to Flavor Town, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah, do the Reese's.
And then also, lastly, I know this was covered in the Patreon show. You guys were talking about the origins of the turtle fart emoji.
Yes.
And I feel like you got most of the story, but not all of the story.
Our historian,
Well, this is just how I remember it.
please.
The idea was that we were telling people if you made it to the end of the episode, we want you to tweet the turtle emoji. We just picked a random one.
Okay.
Now, we then had a bunch of fans tweet us the turtle, But what they didn't know is that there was still about 15 or 20 minutes left of the show, at which point we decided if you just tweeted us just a turtle, you probably didn't make it all the way through. And the only way you did it is if you tweeted turtle fart. And so then we just had a flood of people tweeting us a second time, pissed off that we had essentially pranked them into tweeting us.
Yeah.
It was one of our earliest experiments with social media.
And it worked gangbusters. And it was funny because people were tweeting us in real time as they were listening. They didn't finish the episode and go and pick up their smartphone, which is, obviously 3/4 of our listeners are smartphones. Sure. They picked up their phone and they tweeted the turtle in real time.
Mm-hmm. Thinking that they were a super fan, but,
Yeah, you got to be...
listen to all of it.
That's completely right.
Yeah.
2 great comments. It was from Matt
bravo,
Fondiler. Thank you.
All right, there you go. Now I'll close my own comments.
All right, well, I'll open it up.
It's fantastic.
Thank you, Dawson.
I have a few more...
I missed all of this loving praise heaped upon me when everything's up.
I'll bring a few more listener comments.
Patreon did open with I miss Matt almost immediately.
Well, that's what happens. Caelan and Caelan too. We miss you. We miss you very, very much.
Everyone when they're gone.
We really miss Insomniac.
Me too.
Yeah, we really do.
I do too.
All right, so these comments I pulled from our Facebook group, and if anybody else wants to contribute or join the community, it's facebook.com/group/BoboBoyArmy Worldwide LLC. Just answer a few questions, and Gary Gatekeeper will choose.
Claw's our master.
Wait, no.
Claw chooses who will go and who will stay.
Yeah,
That's right.
And that's pretty much about Gary. All right, let's start off with Karen, listener Karen. She writes, "Okay, so here's the thing. I fell in love during the COVID times." Oh, I think that might be the name of my band, COVID Times.
Yeah.
Should put that. Dawson
Good.
approves. We can't be with each other right now as he is stuck in Indiana while I'm here in Scotland.
Scotland.
Long distance relationship. I think
quick drive.
we can consider that a long distance
It's cool. Those
relationship.
always work, Karen. Don't
Yes.
worry.
Have you guys ever been in a long distance relationship?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You have. Gary has. I have not.
I have not.
Caelan hasn't.
I had a
Dawson?
wildly torrid online affair with a girl in London for a year, and then she came out to see me in San Diego, and then I got sick of her.
Wow.
Yeah.
Elaborate.
Yeah,
I met her in a
dig into
bar.
this a little.
I met her in a bar in Santa Barbara one night. Me and my buddy were just walking down State Street, and we went into Calypso, and
There's a bar
Great-
called Collapse.
great
That's
band
called
name as well.
Calypso.
Oh, okay.
But that's where they do 2-for-1s.
Oh,
at
yeah.
10 o'clock.
You collapse
10 o'clock at night.
Calypso.
That's when they really maximize their
Yeah.
profit. 2-for-1s.
A lot of heads on the bar.
So I walk into Calypso, and there's this chick with leopard tights, and she looked like she just stepped out of a Motley Crue video.
Nice.
And
As a band
I
member.
just started talking to her, and she's like, "Yeah, I live in London." Like,
Oh.
when are you leaving? Tomorrow. Shit, give me your email. And
They
then we
have
emailed
emails
each other.
overseas?
They do. They do.
God.
They just got it like.
Why?
They
why?
had just gotten it like 2 months before this, so it was really serendipitous.
Nice.
And yeah, we it was super interesting at times because I was the music director at a radio station in Santa Barbara, and
Nice.
as I'm reading an email from her, I'm opening up my mail, and I got the first Kings of Leon record, Youth and Young Manhood, phenomenal record. As I'm opening it, I'm reading a note from her that says, "Hey, has Kings of Leon hit the U.S. yet? They're blowing up over here." And I had never heard of them. Right when I'm reading that, I open the Kings of Leon thing. I'm like, all right, well, I'm fucking listening to this
This
shit.
is crazy.
But yeah, anyway, then she spent a week with me in San Diego.
Wow.
And then I never spoke to her again.
Oh, kicked her to the curb.
Nice chick, though.
Sounds really nice.
Yeah.
Santa Barbara's a place of love. Now, I have a question. You asked for her email first, rather than her phone number, just because.
I'm not calling over. I made dick when I lived there, so
Yeah.
I'm not calling overseas.
Yeah.
No way.
I once went to Santa Barbara, and I also talked. I met a girl from Europe, and I was with my drummer Mikey and another buddy of mine named Nick, and we were going for Nick's birthday. It was actually I played a show in Carpinteria for you, like at one of your shows, Dawson. I opened for
Todd Hannigan.
Todd
at the
Hannigan.
Theater, yeah.
and we stayed in Santa Barbara that weekend because it was Nick's birthday, and we went out to a bar and we talked. There were these 3 girls there, and they were from Sweden, Swedish girls, and we all hit it off. And the bar's closed, and then we went to a food truck, got a couple like nachos or tacos or something, and we're just talking, and we went up just talking the entire night, and things looked pretty good. I'm talking to one of the girls, and it's like, all right, so what do you guys what's going on? What are we hanging out after this? And she's like, yeah, absolutely. But Mikey was very drunk, and he comes out of nowhere and slaps the nachos out of her hand all over the floor and does like that. And then runs. And now I'm standing with nachos at our feet.
Mikey.
Yeah,
It's so
you guys
easy
know
to picture.
Mikey.
It's so easy to picture too. Like
So
I have no questions.
so
I feel like I was there.
So do I.
and so now we just have her nachos at our feet, and we're just we're just like frozen.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, bye. That was it.
That was it?
That was the last thing I remember. I did get her number, and she ended up calling me like a few months later because she was like, sorry, what is it called? A foreign exchange student. So, and she was coming to L.A., and she invited me to a Pink concert, but I didn't go.
Dang.
But anyways, sweet.
You got notch blocked.
Yeah, I got notch blocked, man.
Pretty good.
Freaking Mikey. Anyway,
It's just so easy to believe.
yeah. Santa Barbara, man. All right.
Good times.
Yeah, great times.
So that was her question: was have any of us been in long distance relationships?
Well,
Yeah,
it's actually, has
there's
any of
more of
us
that
ever
comment.
met European girls in Santa Barbara?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Anybody
the answer,
else?
Karen, is
Not in
yes.
Santa Barbara, but
We didn't get the majority, but I'll continue reading her comment here. So her question actually is, once you're over, say, 30, what label do you give each other? There has to be an alternative to boyfriend or girlfriend. I'm not 12. Lover? Significant... No, man? Not lover?
not lover.
Significant other? Partner? They're all either cringe or too clinical. What do you guys think?
Boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah,
Just
it's pretty
stick-
Thank you.
straightforward.
Yeah.
Stick with
Or
boyfriend
just
and
say
girlfriend?
my friend if you don't want to assign a gender to it.
You can just
Say
say
my lady friend. Have him call you his lady friend.
Funny that you say that because Quana McCraw commented, do not say lady friend. It's too creepy.
See, I think it's less about the title and it's more about how you say it. So you could just say my friend and do a little That's all you got to do. You just say the word friend.
Yeah.
I think that's so much easier to do it that way.
Here's
We're
some,
fucking. Just
Yeah,
say that.
exactly.
the chick
We're
I'm
fucking-
hammering.
my F buddy.
You know,
Let's
when
see.
your
Laura
nephew
Ro-
calls, explain it to him just like that.
Yeah. Laura
Did
Rose.
Chris really just go PG? My F buddy? What was that?
I don't know.
What
It just
was that?
vulgar.
Out of here.
Laura Rose
Just trying
says,
to swing the pendulum back from where I took it.
Yeah, I know, but I
Yeah.
don't like that.
Laura Rose says, better half. I think that's if you're married.
Right.
My better half. Or maybe
It implies
seriously dating.
It implies marriage.
Let's see. Listener Messiah wrote, side piece.
Nice.
Pretty good,
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
Side slice.
The old ball and chain.
Yeah.
Thomas writes, my lover. And he just wants you to creep people out with, my lover. And
It's
Stuart
creepy, though.
Stewart says, beloved, my beloved. That might be a little too formal. Now, because there's a really great John Mulaney bit, and I think about it all the time, too, because I'm not married, and I've had a girlfriend for a long time, and whenever we go on trips or if I get invited to a party, it's like, oh, can my girlfriend come? And it sounds very immature, like, oh, can my girlfriend come? But if she's my wife, so that's why John Mulaney's bit was, I married her just so I could stop saying my girlfriend, and I could just say, can I bring my wife? Can
People
my
are
wife come?
way too introspective. It
Nobody
doesn't
cares.
matter.
Yeah, Caelan, what do you think?
I have a girlfriend.
Yes.
and
There you
it does.
That sounds
Yeah,
weird,
you
bro.
do.
Why do you say that?
Well, wait.
Respect all of it.
Doesn't Caelan technically have a baby mama?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
can you say?
you do.
Do you say that?
Double baby mama.
Yeah.
No, I don't think you should call her a double baby mama. You have 2 babies from the same mama, but
I don't call her baby mama. I call
You
her
don't-
my girlfriend.
My girlfriend.
Yeah, it's my girlfriend. Okay. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
so I think we're all just like, just say girlfriend. I know she's in Scotland.
Right.
Maybe out there it might be a little
Scotland.
different. Scotland, it might be a little different to say boyfriend or girlfriend, but
It's so good, bro.
My bird.
You should teach a class on
My
accents.
bird. That's good.
yeah. But all right, so there you go. I think we're fine with boyfriend and girlfriend. I don't think there is an in between.
There you
so
go.
just stick with that one. Let's see. Oh, Joe Chiquero.
Chiquero.
He made a new drawing, and he calls it Laxamana. And it is the Martian from Toy Story with my hair and my facial hair holding a claw.
And it's fantastic.
It's really cool. And the number 69 on the belt. Very, very impressive. And also, speaking of
There's a
Joe,
lot of gratuitous claw drops here and not many cans opening. I'm confused
true.
a little bit. What's going on with that, Chris?
well, obviously that was just in response to the Laxamana drawing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Now, speaking,
Seems like you're being real half-handed with the
I'm a
rules.
little easy on that trigger finger
Yeah.
with the claw drops. I can restrain. Donald Powell and Will Moonen also posted their new water cooler T-shirts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
amazing to see that.
Thank you,
guys.
thank
These
you.
things are awesome.
Danny Feynman writes, "Don't argue with me, but this is a terrible fucking sandwich. People only like it because it's overhyped and limited." And he posted a picture of the McRib.
I agree.
Shay.
Wouldn't know.
Why would you eat
Never
it?
had it.
I've never
I've
had
actually
it.
never had it.
You've
either.
never? I've had it.
No.
A few times.
To me, the idea of the rib is the bone. So to put a rib sandwich is like goes against my better nature. I never was a little kid. I didn't even understand
Well,
it.
It's
will this make
obviously
you feel?
manufactured. It's
Yeah.
manufactured. It does not exist in its natural state.
Yeah,
Matt,
I prefer
will this
my
make?
food manufactured.
Yeah, dude.
Will
That's what we were missing last week.
There you go.
That's really what we were missing.
You know, I
with the
hear it
girls.
and then it just comes
Back with
I
a
hear it and then I
bang.
realize I've already said it.
So good.
Matt, will this make you feel better? These ribs do have bones, but they're just
The ones you get after
patty.
you eat them. Come on.
The the patty's shaped like ribs, so the bones are actually the same material
Right.
as the meat. So
It's like the lula, the chicken lula or whatever. right?
yeah, so it actually has a bone impression in the meat.
That's so gross.
Not into that.
So
Not
gross.
into it.
I also think it's overhyped.
Yeah.
The reason I heard the reason it's limited is just it only goes on sale when pork is cheap.
Correct. That's what I've heard as well.
Yeah.
That's disturbing.
So,
Really pork.
but yeah, it's really pork.
I'm just.
know.
I'm
Caelan-
even more disgusted. Now.
I think you'd like it.
You never know.
You never know.
Is it sweet?
It's a sweeter barbecue
Probably
sauce.
wouldn't
Have you had the McDonald's barbecue sauce? It's good.
Yeah, on chicken nuggets.
Yeah, it's that sauce.
All right.
So I don't know, but there is something with human nature and things being limited. I know
Should we call them McNuggets? I'm not sure how much chicken is in there.
chicken McNuggets.
Yeah, but
True.
we've all seen how they make them.
Oh, chicken McNuggets are great.
Yeah, just
I love chicken.
I'm a
McNuggets.
fan. I'm a fan.
I'm also a fan.
My friend he just got a job working for a YouTube star, and her thing is she puts out all these merch like these shoe drops or these shirt drops, and the thing is they're always made to order, but she always cuts them off and says they're sold out after a couple minutes, even though they're all just made to order anyway, and she actually could have an infinite amount, but just to create the hype, and people eat it up, and she makes like millions of dollars doing that.
That's great.
She makes the shoes?
No, she hires like an outside company to put all the prints and make all the merch, and it's all made to order. So it sounds like she has like a certain number of inventory left, but really she has an infinite amount, and she just cuts it off after a certain time.
I see.
It's a
Creating
sorry,
the
sold
demand.
out, sold
Creating
out.
the
You
demand
missed
by
it.
limiting the supply.
Yeah, and that's kind of how a lot of marketing
It's
is
very
done
smart.
these days.
Yeah, I like that.
I thought you'd
I like
like that,
that.
Doss. Yeah, it's kind of just toying with human nature.
There's a whole episode of that Hassan Minaj Netflix show that's about that.
Yeah.
Using Supreme as
Oh,
their,
Supreme,
as
I'm
their
sure.
example, but it's like a 25-minute like detailed explanation of like how the limited like creating hype. It's very interesting.
Burrito Supreme.
All
Not
right.
that Supreme. Different Supreme.
Let's see here. Raul Carvajal.
Carvajal.
He writes
Carbon dated.
the Super Bowl debate took the national stage. Obama was on Fallon talking about if cereal is a soup. And I think we've talked about that ourselves. So once again,
He obviously listens to our show.
No.
yes. Oh, we're
Look,
just,
Barack, quit stealing our bits, please.
I think it's more Fallon.
Stop.
I think the only question is how many former leaders of the free world listen to the water cooler.
Yeah,
Well, I know Carter for a fact.
Well, we know their cell phones do.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There's just statistically speaking,
Yeah.
it has to. Work
Carter
out that
listens to us and Rogan.
Right.
Well, he dropped off Rogan when he went to Spotify. Carter couldn't figure out the new app.
Let's see here. David Hundley writes, "Winding down with my dudes. Got a big slice of cake and a pull of milk."
Nice, I like your style.
It's a nothing bunt cake, which is just
Yeah.
delightful.
So, and he, in parentheses, he puts no raw hot dogs, which is a reference to Nick Davis's eating habits.
Yep.
Could life be any sweeter? Yeah, and he posted a picture of a nothing bun cake, which, as Gary said, delightful. They're Caelan, even you would like
I
a
don't even
nothing
know what
bun
that
cake.
is.
It's like a brand. It's like a bakery that's called Nothing Bunt, like bunt cakes.
That's like the place.
That's the name of
Oh,
the
I got
store, and they've
They
become
make
very
like little mini cakes. They make full size.
They make
ones
full
too,
size
but-
ones too, which is what he was eating.
Misleading name. Couldn't think of that word.
That word.
That moment brought to you by Corona Celsius.
It makes me think there's nothing on the cake.
No, it's
thought
just
that
a
was the name of
bunt
it.
cake.
Yeah. It's a bunt cake, and they're very moist, very delicious.
I wonder how many people are hitting the rewind just to hear that again.
Name. I like the pull of milk. I can't remember the last glass of milk I've had.
Glass of milk takes you way back, I would say too.
Now,
I've had like a pull of milk to make sure it's okay,
Yeah.
but not like a whole glass.
This is
of
a
it.
glass of milk.
I'll
That's
have
a lot
glass
of milk.
did you guys
every
drink
Oh, I will too,
milk
but-
as kids?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Okay, it was a rule in my house that you had a glass of milk with dinner every single night, and it was perfectly
dinner?
normal to me. Yeah,
Interesting.
It was perfectly normal to me, but as I've grown up, it's apparently weirder and weirder. Joya is horrified by the fact that anyone drinks milk.
By that fact that we're like the only mammals that drink another mammal's milk.
I don't think she even goes that far into it. She just thinks milk's gross and has always made fun of me about it. And then she got pregnant, craved milk.
Oh.
Very weird.
My wife also thinks it's gross to drink milk. As an adult, I will say I have not consumed a glass of milk. I have no problem with it, but I have not done that.
Yeah, I am
You
with
drink
both of
breast
your
milk, we
wives.
know.
I do not drink breast milk. I did
heard
not.
of stories
I did not
multiple
drink
times,
it.
Chris.
And if anything, I was just going to take a pull of the breast milk, not a glass of the breast milk. So it still shouldn't count.
And guys, it was during the reception.
Yeah, I was at a wedding reception, but I am with both of your wives. I just think milk is gross.
I drink milk all the time.
Yeah, see, I
My
don't.
favorite move is going to a steakhouse and getting prime rib or rare, and then when they say to drink, I just ask for a glass of milk, but bring it with the dinner, please. And they always look at me like, "Ooh, I like your style."
Yeah. You okay, Gary?
Yeah, I just touched Matt's chair. I was trying to move it, and I
Got
got
a little electric
little
shock. I heard
of
it.
electricity.
Yeah,
heard
I
it.
think something happened to the camera when you did it too. Like I
Yeah,
saw like
I
a
just-
flash.
That's weird.
Yeah. Oh, got a lot of static electricity. I
don't like
going
that.
on right now. This is every time around this year, I get out of my car, and I always get shocked when I close the door. So now I have this thing where I get out of the car and I quickly just touch the metal on my car just to just get the shock out of me before I close it because I don't want to get startled. Oh man!
Ooh, watch yourself, it's the claw!
See, there we go. We're back
Yeah.
on track.
We are back. We are back on track. And Caelan, you say you'll have milk every once in a while.
I didn't for a very long time, and then I had kids, and now my daughter has milk every night, so I got to just pouring myself a glass of whole milk every once in a while, and I love it.
Nothing can stop the claw!
You drink it at sub-zero temperatures.
Yes.
Yeah, you gotta have it cold.
Gotta have. Yeah, oh yeah.
I think a lot, and Jen's grandma drank a lot of milk with her meals too, so it might be an older person thing too. Like when we get older, we might get back into milk, Matt.
Could happen.
It could happen.
Milk's. I mean, I don't know. Milk's still great.
What kind of milk? Whole? Is it? It's,
2%.
If you go 2%.
Lately, I've been doing whole because that's what my kid drinks as well. I'm sort of in the same boat as Caelan.
Oh, okay. Matt, what
Yeah,
kind of
I
milk
think
you
I'd
getting?
go for just about any kind.
Yeah.
I don't think it would bother me.
That's right. What's the difference between 2% and whole?
About 98.
Okay, that's right.
I can't drink 2% now. I have to drink 1%.
Really, that 1%?
That 1% makes a huge difference.
Taste or bowel related? I don't know. Like,
bowel related for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a I think everyone develops a little lactose intolerance when they get older.
Oh yeah, that should go without saying. Any milk consumed is immediately
2% hurts.
Destroys my body.
Interesting. Good to know. All right, let's see here. Oh, Bill McGarry. All I have to say is bravo, my friend. He created a new website. KathyBuysYouLunch.com.
Oh my God, that's right.
This is
That's great.
We've been plugging this website before it was fully constructed and released,
company.
but now it's out there. KathyBuysYouLunch.com, and a lot of references to this podcast.
Yeah,
weirdly enough,
it's amazing.
This business. I mean, we must be their top reviewer or something, but they seem to be fans of us too. So.
I think we're really the Yelp target audience for KathyBuysYouLunch.com.
Yeah, I think so too. So,
and for people who don't know, it's a program where Kathy will give you an undisclosed amount of money in the exact amount of $100.
What?
I don't know. But you then use it to pay for lunch with your staff.
Yeah.
To the monster out there that commented that I revealed that it was $100, I would once again like to publicly shame you and say, no, that was Matt Fondiler.
I didn't know we were keeping it concealed. I didn't listen.
Well, so that undisclosed, it's a great business plan. I mean, I don't understand the profit part of it, but other than that,
That's
great
not
business
up to
plan.
us, though, man. That's up to the consumer.
Not up to us. Yeah, we are merely we're the consumers, or the customers, and we appreciate the service. So, KathyBuysYouLunch.com, and and Thomas Vincent created a poll. How many more weeks will we hear about a certain Watercooler member's recent birthday?
One more.
I have not brought up my birthday in...
Just keeps on. Keeps on bringing it
I
up.
imagine he's talking about me and my recent birthday, which was November 19th, just a few weeks ago. But there's another birthday coming up, and that's Gary's. And
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not. This month.
No.
What do you mean? Your birthday's this month.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's his half birthday.
No, his half birthday is in June.
I'd just like to point out that I'm not talking about my birthday at all.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I wouldn't do that on a podcast. Only a monster would.
Only a monster. True. You know what?
Good point.
That's taking the high road, bro.
I'll stop talking about my
That's really
birthday
good.
too, because I agree with you.
Again with the birthday.
So yeah,
my birthday.
my November 19th birthday. I'll stop mentioning it.
We get it, Chris.
Yeah.
You were born.
And
Congratulations.
that was our listener comments. Sorry I didn't talk about all the comments on all the wings and the Call of Duty Warzone. There's just too many
You
to
gotta
read.
be selective here.
Yeah,
Good job,
from all
you
the
guys.
shows. We got into it on all the shows.
You really brought the comments today. So
Also,
good work.
Thank
Proud
you to
of
our listeners for providing said comments.
Yes,
Like, we
yes,
love.
yes.
This is amazing that we've now created not just an audio community, but now there's like a polling community as well. We have like a message board, basically.
And it's half the show. They're essentially producing half of our show for us.
Is it
which
weird
is
that
great.
Matt got like super effusive about the listener comments the one time that he actually had a couple?
I'm just saying it's a great segment, and
It's-
when
yeah.
people
Funny.
contribute to it, it should be applauded.
Yes, every comment there is just
Each comment,
Especially those first
the
two.
earlier the better. Yeah, I think
started great. The segment started great.
Started
Let's be
so
honest.
good.
That's good to be
Yeah,
back.
Matt, where have you
We have
been?
fun.
Where have you been, man? What happened?
Curled
to
in
you?
a fetal position on my couch or my bed.
Were you shamaning?
I'm going to tell you guys what I've told a couple of you guys off air. People think that I'm crazy, including Dr. Drew. He laughed at my face. He laughed at me.
And this
But
is something you want to go
I
on
d-
a podcast with?
I'm
For
just
the
gonna say
record,
what
I don't
happened.
think
What happened.
you're crazy.
Let's see.
I
right.
do not think you're
I'll
crazy.
be the judge of that.
I did not get COVID-19. I did not get the Rona. Those results were negative. Now, there is a strain of a mosquito-borne illness with a very extreme-sounding name called the West Nile virus. West Nile. And if you
Caelan,
look
have
it
you heard
up,
of this?
I
if you
have
look
heard
it
of
up,
this.
there's an outbreak in California, especially in the area close to where I live. I'm not going to dox myself.
Well,
and
we
tell
are
you guys
west
where I live.
of the Nile.
We are. Now, if you look at the timeline of events, approximately 24 hours to 36 hours before I fell violently ill.
Illed?
I don't know how that happened. That was the Celtic talking.
Dawson couldn't say name.
I was attacked by a mosquito, or perhaps more, from my knees down to my toes. And as you guys know, I love going to Mammoth. I may have mentioned it on this show. An area where you get bit by mosquitoes.
Really great bakery there.
You get bit by mosquitoes a lot in Mammoth. When I was in Florida the week before, bit by a couple mosquitoes.
Genetically modified mosquitoes.
It could have been from Florida. I don't know. But when I got back from California, to California, again, the Celsius,
Wow.
was attacked by a mosquito.
A claw!
It was just disturbing how busted my legs were after this. And then about 36 hours later, I became extremely sick for about 36 hours. And you look at all the symptoms of that West Nile thing, and most people who get it, it's very mild. You're sick for a couple days and you just recover. There is, of course, extreme cases where you could die from it. That obviously is not anywhere near what I was experiencing. But if I were to self-diagnose, that's what I would say happened to me.
Now, I got to agree with Chris that
if you were going to self-medicate.
Yep.
I don't think you're crazy, and I do believe you. And I saw your legs, and your legs look like you had the worst case of chickenpox I've probably ever seen.
That's exactly right.
It looked very violent. Now,
Matt was explaining to us, I think I have West Nile, and we're just like, oh, sure you do. And then he pulls up his pant leg, and I'm a believer, baby, after I saw his legs.
I was a believer as well. And then Drew walked in the building, and this is how I roll. I said to Drew, Matt thinks he has West Nile, and Drew started violently shaking his head before I got the whole word out. So when Drew had that reaction, I went, okay, Matt didn't have West Nile, but I believe you.
And I'm also going to believe what Drew says because he's a doctor, and I'm just talking about reading some shit online that I saw.
I've read plenty of shit online, and I also do a lot of self-diagnosing. But the thing is, a lot of these WebMD things, they're very similar. So what made your West Nile, what symptoms did you have that wouldn't be in any other disease that you can explain, this is why I think it's West Nile?
The skin rash was a big part of it.
The skin, your legs.
Yeah, that it was more than just the sort of fever and other horrible
achiness,
body kind of stuff, achiness, stuff like that.
Diarrhea.
Which, of course, crosses over to a bunch of different things. But I'm not going to go to that trap.
Were you shamaning? Shitting and vomiting?
It was so close to happening.
Uh-huh.
It was so close to happening. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. So I basically was there, yes.
I shamated for 7 hours after swimming at Copacabana Beach.
That's rough.
That was a bad idea.
Yeah, that's rough.
Do you alternate, or do you go one in the tub, one in the toilet?
Ideally, you'd go one in the trash can, one in the toilet.
Yeah, exactly.
Tub's a little rough to clean out.
I was in a hotel.
That's just the way that Chris's
totally
brain's
me
thinking.
too.
I was in a hotel, so I chose sink and toilet.
That's good.
Sure.
Same time.
Much better than tub. Much better than tub. Jesus Christ, Chris. Jenny, you just bought a house with this man?
But anyway, I'm doing much better now, so
I'm glad.
All's well. But yeah, it was a pretty rough week.
We're all worried about you. Caelan, why were you gone?
What's up, bro?
Because two of the five of us decided it was a good idea to go to fucking Florida for a wedding in the middle of a pandemic.
I explained that. Matt, also, I did something today that seemed to have bothered you.
Bothered me, too.
It bothered Gary as well.
It bothered me a little.
It bothered Caelan a little.
It was very
What
odd.
we're talking about.
So what happened was I was getting ready for the Corolla show, and I noticed my phone's ringing. But I left my phone in the front room, and I'm in the back in the engineering room in the studio. So
Do you do that often?
I do it every once in a while. So
Oh, I think we're talking about different things.
what are you talking? Okay, we'll get into that in a second. What the hell? But I have the Apple Watch, so my watch vibrates and lets you know that someone's calling, and it's actually Mr. Corolla himself who wanted to talk about show prep again. We already talked about show prep, but he had a fire under his belly, and he's calling. So I go to get my phone, and Matt's running with my phone ringing. He's like, Chris, you have Adam's calling you, but I answer it on my watch, and I go, hey Adam, what's up? And then Matt hands me my phone, and I just see him walking back, and just you will not believe what Chris is doing. He was super pissed about it. I'm like, what's the big deal? Because I answered the phone on my watch and looked like James Bond and looked dope as hell.
I mean,
what's wrong with that?
I believe my exact quote was, okay, Dick Tracy, as I handed you your phone.
James Bond. James Bond.
I guess especially because it was what I would argue an important phone call not to miss. To feel like, oh, I'm saving the day right now by helping Chris out. And then to have you just casually chatting into your future device to your boss instead, I was like, well, then what the fuck then?
So
like,
if you didn't have a hero complex, you probably would have been largely unaffected by this, right?
That's the story of my life, Dawson.
Yeah.
Okay.
Many things of my life would be so much better.
Well, as
I see, I understand then.
As Matt sulked away from you with a very "what the hell is going on here" attitude, he came straight to the exact right audience, which was me, and, right?
Yes.
And started complaining about it. And I one-upped Matt with the more annoying thing that Chris does with his Apple Watch. This building is about 5,000 square feet. That may sound big, but there's only about 1,000 square feet of it that we actually use, and it's all pretty much the studio and the very front room. Chris routinely leaves his fucking phone in the front room, goes to the studio, reaches in his pocket, I assume, and realizes, I don't know where my phone is, and hits Find My iPhone on his Apple Watch, which makes the phone fucking ding. Yes, that's exactly the sound that I am greeted with when I'm trying to fucking work. It is so annoying.
Not that annoying.
Caelan, what does Chris do that pisses you off?
Yeah, what the hell,
what
man?
does he do?
He's short.
I wouldn't say it pissed me off. It was a very strange interaction where I was getting a little bit hungry, so I was thinking, it's lunchtime around the office today.
I'm with you on this one.
So I did I go to Matt first. I go, Matt, any thoughts on lunch? I brought lunch. I'm good. Okay. And I like at least one other person to be in on lunch. Otherwise, I feel too bad sending intern Ryan out to go get it. In which case, I probably just eat salami or something. So I would go to the front room. Gary and Chris are sitting there. I go, hey, you guys want lunch? Gary just kind of sat there.
Didn't even respond.
Well, he's very indecisive.
I was
He was
waiting.
Yeah,
waiting.
but
He was waiting.
didn't even acknowledge you,
but
Caelan.
here's
What do you
the
think
thing.
about
Hold
that?
on, hold on.
Not acknowledging is
Hold
better
on.
than what you-
Let me defend myself here, Chris. As much as Caelan doesn't like to have one person go on the lunch run, I don't want to dictate the lunch run. I don't like being that guy. I'll get on board with whatever the rest of the crew wants to do, but very rarely do I want to be the one to pick. So if the question is thoughts on lunch, and there's two of us in the room, I'll let the other person answer first.
So it was silent for a beat. And
It was silent for a long time because Gary didn't acknowledge you.
All right.
You didn't really do much.
This is about you.
Chris said, yeah,
don't
sure.
deflect.
Right. Sorry, I forgot.
Chris said, yeah, sure. I said, okay, well,
Yeah,
you
I
feeling
responded.
anything? I'll get anything. He goes, how about Chick-fil-A? I go, great. Chick-fil-A sounds good.
Yeah.
I go to the intern Ryan. I say, hey, Ryan, we're going to Chick-fil-A. And then I come back, and you go,
I'm not hungry.
It was a fucking roller coaster.
Oh my god!
and then proceeded to talk about how he had breakfast today.
Dude, all you gotta do
Because he
is
had
text
breakfast.
me the words
I don't know
Chick-fil-A.
if he's going to have lunch.
Now, to be clear, when Caelan says he got the information from Chris that we were going to Chick-fil-A and then went to intern Ryan, that involves a 90-degree turn with his body to
Lot
the
of work.
doorway he was
Lot of
already
effort.
standing in. And
Yeah.
in that 4 seconds, Chris went, oh, I'm not hungry. No, I'm not.
That did happen. But here's the thing, Gary. I know you don't like to dictate where we get lunch, but I don't think it's dictating. I think it's decision making because there are plenty of times when we do that classic thing. Where do you guys want to eat? I don't know. Where do you want to eat? I don't know. And we just
Hours go by.
Hours go by. Days sometimes. So I figured I better handle this.
Handled.
It was handled.
It was handled, and we did get Chick-fil-A, and it was delicious. So, and you
Nice
ultimately
job.
did get something,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah. Well, of course, I'm not going to say no to Chick-fil-A. I love Chick-fil-A.
When
Like I say
words
to my-
like
no to my
Chick-fil-A
choice.
are spoken, just shoot a Dawson text. Chick-fil-A
Right.
or In-N-Out.
I know, Dawson. I'm in the engineering room eating because I typically eat during the show, and Dawson just goes, "Is that In-N-Out?" And I'm like halfway into my burger, and I freeze, and I go, "Yeah." Like, that could have been a Dawson text, and then I text Ryan, "Why did you text Dawson? It is just me and Dawson in here, and the tension is thick.
It's as thick as the secret sauce of a
It's
burger.
so thick."
Juicy.
Yeah. So yeah, you're right, Dawson. We should text you when we
I'd be
go.
eating that stuff today. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, sometimes, Dawson, you roll in here with all your Jack in the Box stuff, and I need that for show content. So I have to let you order it. No,
Thanks, buddy.
No, we should be letting it. At least we know Chick-fil-A and In-N-Out are Dawson approved.
And fried chicken.
And
fried
Langers.
chicken. And
Pretty much
Langers.
most of the places we go.
Okay, all lunch. Noted. All right. Speaking of lunch, I think it's time. Now, Matt, while being sick with West Nile, also has been dealing with a lot of litigation, permitting. to get this Super Bowl
Yes.
underway.
Oh, yeah.
We did, in fact, receive a large donation from the Society for Hot Spoon Food. So thankfully, thanks to the SFHSF, we're able to get the Super Bowl
Sweet.
underway.
That's a grant. And from people like you.
Yeah, that's right.
You know?
Unfortunately, Chris, the way you just said it was part of the legal stipulation that we had to get around. We were only allowed to proceed with this if you say it's Super Bowl.
Oh, right.
The pause
Super Bowl
was sort of part of the settlement.
Thank you, Gary Ghost.
All right, good to know. Thank you, and thank you, Gary Ghost as well. Should we get into it?
Let's do it.
Oh no! What type of foods might we hear of today? What might be the price? What might be the venue? So let's find out. It's time for Gary to say, hey Matt.
What's on the menu?
We're finally here, guys. It's time.
It's time.
For the Soup or Bowl, brought to you by the SFHSF. Now, as you guys know, as we've gone over the last few...
Caelan's loving that. The HSF.
We have 4 different categories. If you have to listen to other episodes, I'm not going to go through everything. We had 4 different categories. We have 16 teams. I've tried to spread out the brackets so that every part of the bracket's got different reps from the different areas. You guys know all these sports terms. Mm-hmm. Reps and areas.
Yeah,
right.
Got it.
There you go. So I figure we could do the first 2 battles here.
Let's do it.
We get reps from all 4 teams.
Let's do it.
And what
So-
conference is this?
The first one. The
region?
first one. The first conference.
Well, hold up your bracket to the screen. Matt actually drew out,
I printed out.
printed out an actual bracket. Okay.
right.
Very clean.
Yeah.
So first up, and by the way, for people who don't know how this works, because, I don't know, brackets are confusing, we're going to decide who wins in a head-to-head battle for each set and decide who moves on.
Wow.
You guys get that?
That's
you guys,
innovative.
You guys need me to repeat any of these rules?
Guys, that 15-second back button is right there if you're
That's
confused.
really great.
Plot chooses who will go and who will stay.
Goddamn right.
Once again, being just
Is that-
very
liberal. You're gonna
Really?
really
Did you
piss
listen to
Dawson
the
off.
words,
I like
Gary?
it. No,
Yeah.
I like it.
I'm not seeing-
Dawson's disgusted. He's crying.
You
can see it on
ratio
YouTube.
is totally out of whack.
All right, first up, we got a rep from the Dirty Joke Soup category.
All right.
Broccoli cheddar taken on from the Soup Plantation category, Wonton Soup.
Ooh.
Oh,
Nice.
easy. But
please.
what is the dirty joke soup again?
It's like the thick and creamy soups, you know, the ones that are like the punchline of a dirty joke.
Right.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
It's the ones you can really maliciously
I just need-
alter.
Yes,
at the
you don't want to
buffet.
make the waiter
That's
mad
the
and
reason.
send it back because
Yes,
you don't know what's
exactly.
going to happen when it
That's,
comes back.
that'd be a very unfunny joke.
Yes.
Happened to me. And I just wanted to make sure we explain it because in case Food Network or Travel TV or someone wants to pick up this show,
Right,
Sure.
right.
yeah, we're detailed.
What you're
here.
saying is, listen up, Guy Fieri.
So broccoli cheddar versus wonton soup. What do you
Wonton.
guys think?
You know what? I love. That's my favorite
That's how I
Zeppelin
pronounce
song,
it.
the Wonton song.
That's right. Wonton.
I'll start with this.
Please do.
These are both good soups,
Well, they're all the best soups.
but when I order Chinese food, I always get me some wonton soup.
Yeah.
I love the wonton soup because it's got the wontons and it's like meat noodles. Essentially, it's like meat noodle soup. Like, and it's, you know, it's good stuff. So I
Yeah.
say I'm going to be voting for wonton this time of year.
This only makes me mad because I know you're not going to vote for whatever pho is against because you haven't had pho. And if you want meat noodles, baby, pho is meat and noodles. It's really, really fantastic. But that's either here nor there. Typically,
Yeah, it's like the Niners are playing the Bills tonight, and he wants to tell me about the Steelers.
I get that sports reference.
let's see. Typically, I'm always wanting wonton soup,
Wonton.
but
I applaud that, Chris.
I love me some broccoli cheddar, dirty or clean, baby. Give it to me. So tasty, thick, creamy, cheesy, rich. My mouth is watering. Look, they're both 10s in my book, but broccoli cheddar is real nice. So
You have
I
the ire of an entire nation right now. Everyone in China. We just lost our Chinese syndicate deal, by the way.
I'm really
Thanks to you.
pulling for the Vietnamese with pho. Pho is the best, but we won't get. That's neither here nor there.
Yeah, nothing to do with this particular
Steelers
bracket.
rule. All right, go ahead.
I
Cam.
just generally prefer the thick and creamy soups, so there's probably a little bias there. And it's got cheese in it too.
We got
Can't go
2
wrong.
for broccoli cheddar, 1 for wonton.
Come on, save the day,
Gary,
boys.
what do you got?
What I got is an overwhelming sadness because I had the under on 1.5 for number of times meat noodle would be said in this episode. And I just
should have bet the over.
God, my wallet
Pound
just took
that
a,
over.
Just took a beating. Fuck. I as you all know, I'm not as adventurous in the food area. I tend to be, as Chris has called me, a basic bitch. But one thing that this basic bitch loves is cheese, broccoli, and cheddar all day, baby.
Oh.
Damn.
Well, Matt,
Well,
I'd still like to hear yours.
I will just say, for the record, even though it doesn't really help in this scenario, I'm also wanting some wonton soup.
Oh.
So, Dawson, I'm with you. I'm very disappointed to see it knocked out this early,
Very
but we
disappointed.
got to go with the majority here.
Wow.
Broccoli cheddar. Now, I will say the cheddar is what's saving it. If
Yeah.
it was just broccoli soup,
Oh,
barf.
of
Agreed.
course.
As
no, thank
if, right?
Yeah, because broccoli cheddar is very close to just straight up cheese sauce, baby. And we all love cheese sauce.
Yeah, you
we
could put
do.
it on a fucking hot dog.
Yeah, I want to
Now-
fondue that.
Speaking of cheese, speaking of fondue, that brings us perfectly into the next part of this bracket.
I know.
Because from the Miss Souplanius category, we got some French onion soup
Oh, boy.
representing,
Oh, boy.
and it's going up against one of the hitters from the chunk sipples category, which is the chunky soup that you sip on, and that is the minestrone.
Oh, jeez. Louise.
French onion versus minestrone. Now, I'm going to go first
is
since I had
easy.
to go last
Easy.
because French onion, hands down,
Before-
just blows it out of the water.
But this is a horrible seeding. These two should not be up against each other. This
France
is,
versus Italy.
yeah, this is.
It's like the World Cup all
World
over
Cup
again,
right here.
dude.
Yeah.
Really? You guys love minestrone that much, huh?
Why don't we call this,
I dig
this
me
the
some
World Cup?
minestrone, dude.
I didn't think minestrone was that big.
Some
of a deal
good
either.
Parmesan or
It's just some
Romano
like
on it.
fucking vegetable soup. I figured that
it's
was
good.
like just a slam
I thought it
dunk
was
for
a
French
throwaway.
onion.
I think
didn't
the
realize
kidney
this.
beans really make it.
Minestrone is fantastic.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
But
Now,
it's
with
no
that-
French onion soup. I was trying to just, I'm trying to bracket this with the. I thought the minestrone was one that we kind of shoehorned in here. I didn't realize I got a bunch of minestrong men over here pushing me around.
It's good to have you back, dude. It's good to have you back.
God, I missed you so much.
How did we get by? We had to listen to Chris talk about his birthday.
That's very true. Although I still have a lot of material left on that subject.
So again, I apologize for causing World War soup over here. But for me, it's French onion for the win. But
All right.
sorry to
What
put
else?
everyone in such
Who
a
else?
difficult competition.
Who else?
What else we got? What do we got here?
Yeah, Dawson, what about you?
I'll go. I'm gonna cast a vote that's not gonna matter. Because I smell a landslide coming, and it does not smell like Italian zest. I'm going for the minestrone. I love a nice hot cup of minestrone, especially at a kick-ass Italian restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
You get the soup and the salad,
It comes with your meal.
and there's bits of zucchini.
Zucchini.
And the kidney beans, and then the shape of the pasta
little
is just
noodles.
fantastic.
They're not meat
The
noodles,
soup
but
noodles,
you don't
right? They're
need
not
them.
meat noodles.
They're not noodles at all.
Pound that over. But when the soup gets kind of trapped in there, in the inside the hole
sometimes
of the noodle.
it's a shell. It's a shell kind
Sometimes
of pasta.
it's a shell, but
And
I
it's
like the tube. I like
it's
the
a
tubes.
Oh yeah. Either way, it's a little soup pocket.
Yeah, it's a soup pocket.
Yeah, sounds a lot like French onion soup.
And then freshly grated Romano or Parmesan right in that bowl.
You see, you have to
that's-
add the cheese to that soup because it doesn't taste very good. The French onion soup comes with cheese. It's just part of the recipe. Wow. But go ahead, cast your vote.
Okay, buddy. Minestrone.
With or without the cheese that you have to add to it later.
Doesn't matter, dude. Best thing about
broccoli
French
cheddar.
onion soup
Notice
is
you
the
don't have
cheese.
to add cheese to
That's
the broccoli
all you
cheddar
got.
soup.
That's all you got is the cheese. That's the reason why you like French onion soup is because it's got baked cheese on it. Take that cheese away. Will you ever eat that soup?
I'll drink that
No.
fucking onion soup. I'll bathe in that onion soup.
Well, thank you, Matt, once again for being impartial while hosting this segment.
Sure.
Not trying to influence anybody. As for me, I will choose. I do love myself some minestrone. I do love myself some French onion. I am upset that we haven't had any World Cup puns at all during these Battle of the Nations. Now,
Chris, you have to understand from a legal standpoint, the Super Bowl was hard enough to fucking clear. I can't clear it in international jurisdictions. World Cup is an international organization.
what if we start cup with a K or something?
Copa Supa. We just call it Copa Supa.
Well, that's not bad. Copa
I
Supa.
think it's Copa Zupa. But
Oh, we can call it Copa Mundial.
Well, now he's
Now we're
Supa Mundial.
What's your vote, Chris?
I'm going to pick French onion. I'm sorry. I love minestrone, but
I see it.
But French onion, my God. I love onions. I love the crouton on top
You
of the
love the
cheese.
French. Go ahead and say it.
I will not. No, I do. I love the French. And yeah, it's just so rich. It's perfect. You did it as a meal. I'm into it. French onion soup. FTW. Caelan.
Of course, it's French onion. There's really no contest here.
Really?
Insanity abounds.
Now, Gary, if you want, I
We'll
can
stop for me.
spare you from having to choose between these two. I realize you feel so strongly about it. You don't need to state one for the record to preserve your reputation. You
Well,
can take a bye if you need one.
I appreciate that offer, but I am going to make a choice, and I am going to state it for the record, because unlike all of you guys, I'm a proud American. It's Freedom Onion for the win.
All right. Well, in that case, we cleared our first two brackets, gentlemen. What's up?
Before you close this,
Yeah.
I do have some hot soup news.
Let's hear it.
Tonight, I'm making caldo de pollo.
Well,
Because if you go to the Vallarta El Supermarket, if you go to El Supermarket, they sell a package for caldo de pollo, for Mexican chicken soup.
Dang.
And it's got the chicken, and then in another sealed thing,
soup.
it's got there's a little thing of corn, some cabbage, potato, and seasoning, and I think cilantro and onion. And so tonight, I'm making homemade caldo de pollo. I'll let you guys know if it's any good.
Nice.
There is a
Please
wonderful. If you ever, and I mentioned this on Twitter, but this is for sure awesome. If you're looking for a new Mexican place, search caldo de pollo. Any Mexican place that puts that on their menu, chicken soup, you can be guaranteed that their food is spectacular. Ooh. And the chicken soup is probably pretty damn awesome too.
Nice.
Good tip.
Love it.
So, Matt, are we going to hear any more of the Super Bowl in the Patreon episode?
That's right. We're going to do the next set in our Patreon episode. And also, very, very quickly or very soon on the Patreon feed, we're going to be dining on some reindeer.
All right.
That was provided to us. Provided to me based on a story that we told.
a dream that you've had.
Yes.
And-
so this is sweeps, baby. If you want to sign up for our Patreon.
How do you
you'll
do
be
that?
You go to patreon.com/watercooler.
Or KathyBuysYouLunch.com.
Oh, you can link from there as well. Isn't that clever? Well, we love the support. And on that next episode, we will be doing the next round of the Super Bowl. Super Bowl.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But until then, that's what's on the menu.
Oh, fantastic. Amazing piece of broadcasting.
And Dawson,
Thank you.
your pollo, caldo de pollo sounds delicious. You actually made a chicken carcass soup,
Turkey
carcass soup last week, and I partook.
And?
Phenomenal.
Thank
It
you.
was very. Gary's laughing.
You know what I did, Caelan? I did a weird thing, man. Like, I knew you weren't going to be here,
Right.
but I wanted everybody to try some soup.
Okay.
So I gave them all each individual serving size tuppers
That makes sense.
of their soup.
Sure.
Yeah.
I ate. I will preface it with this. I ate the whole thing. Went down easy. I wanted more. It was really.
Did you
good.
go for another one?
I did not go for another one just because
You guys are
I
awful
didn't know if I
quiet
could.
over there.
I honestly, you told me about it, and I really should have had it, and I did not. And
I didn't
feel
know if
like
I
a
could,
straight-up
but-
dick.
I think Chris is about to explain why I didn't go for it.
Oh, well, but
But
there was a moment when I took my first sip of the soup, and I had a little turkey in there, a little bit of like the onion, Or oh no, the noodle. What's that? Those little noodle balls.
China de pepe.
The China de
Rosary beads.
pepe. The rosary beads. Yes.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Heavenly. Pun intended. But I took a bite, and Gary saw that I pulled out a feather.
I mean, dude, it's a turkey carcass, bro. There, I forgot to tell you. I thought, yeah. Sorry, man.
No, it's all good.
I can't believe a feather got through.
That's what I said. So I was like,
It's very odd.
so I pulled out a feather because I couldn't
But
eat
yeah,
it.
there's sometimes in the butt.
Yeah.
They don't get them out all the way out.
Oh, even better. I pulled out a butt feather.
There's not a butt feather.
So,
Well, it didn't actually have feather on it. What you got was a quill.
okay, yeah, whatever it was. So I
butt quill.
I pulled out the butt quill, and then I looked at Gary and I go, "Should I be alarmed that I just pulled out a feather?" And he goes, "Maybe," but I didn't care. I put the feather down
Good.
and I finished the soup, and then it was akin to I ate the whole thing, and it was akin to like if I find like a hair in my soup. I don't care. I've never sent back food if I found a hair in it or anything. It just doesn't bother me. It's like humans have hair. I'm not going to die from it. It's fine. But then I got to thinking as the day went on, if I found a feather in any other soup that didn't have chicken in it, I might not eat it.
You wouldn't want
Or
to
a
find
bird.
a feather in your minestrone.
Yeah.
Is that an Alanis Morissette line?
That was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little pillow.
Feather is
Wow, that's like a second
minestrone
verse line
soup.
too. I'm surprised you remember that one.
Right.
But anyway, great job with the soup. It was delicious. Gary did see me pull out the butt feather,
Butt quill.
but didn't care. It was that good.
Hey man,
Had to finish it.
there's always casualties in the turkey carcass soup. I'm glad you didn't get any bones because there's
What?
I sometimes miss bones or like knuckles, little turkey knuckles.
Knuckles?
Yeah,
Turkey knuckles.
Turkey knuckles. All right. The only
Sounds like
knuckle.
a good gamer name, though.
I
you
think
know,
it's a
like the knuckle
sandwich.
at the end of a chicken wing, or knuckles on chicken wings, or knuckles on chicken legs.
Yeah, my over-under on how many times we say knuckles.
The odds makers are taking a beating.
Yeah.
Meat noodle.
Dawson's just ruining everything. No. Anyway, thanks for the soup, man. It was truly delicious. I would have ate more, but I thought that the other ones were for the other guys, so I didn't eat.
And
it.
they were.
And
we blew it.
Yeah. All right. Well, that'll do it for Watercooler. This is a fun episode.
It's good to be all together again.
It feels really good. I'm happy that we are all together. And why don't we get our plugs in? And we'll be back Wednesday. So let's start over here. Caelan, you've missed a few shows. I'm sure there's a lot you've been wanting to plug. There's a lot you've been wanting to suggest people check out, go see. Where can we go for you, Caelan?
Well, yeah, I got a lot of movies that I've watched since I've been gone, but I'll save them for some future reviews.
Oh, some feature
maybe
flickins.
some
flickin'.
doubles, maybe even triple.
Triple
We'll
Fliston.
see. We'll see.
Triple what, Chris?
Fliston.
Listen.
But for now, just a big thank you to producer Laura Lee for
Yeah.
Thanksgiving stuffing.
How was that?
It was delicious.
Oh, very nice.
Cooked it up at home.
Hello.
My girlfriend wanted
Well
some,
done.
and I got angry. She was taking some from me.
Oh, your double baby mama?
Maybe not.
Gary, so about you.
I guess my plug is for Watercooler because we have a potential double or triple flicking coming up, and in the next episode, I think we're going to have a double Shay with me taking over and doing a guest Shay.
That's right.
Working title, but Shay Fondiler, which was what I was called in high school.
Shea Fondle Gary?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Perfect.
Yeah.
Working title.
Yep.
I know.
I'm looking
like
forward
it.
to that, too.
It's catchy.
Should be a good one.
I
Lots
asked
of
Gary,
pictures.
what'd you do this weekend? And then I said, don't tell me. Save it for Patreon.
Wow.
That's how we roll around here.
All right. See, that's we only this is a true water cooler conversation.
Yeah.
This is how we talk.
We should call ourselves the Key 3 or something like that.
Yeah.
Matt, so about you.
Well, first, again, I'm sorry that I was out sick, but thanks to the new medication I was taking, butt quill, I was able to recover.
Yeah.
So shout out to
Shortens
that.
colds, I hear.
Yeah, it really worked.
Butt quill.
Otherwise, yeah, again, I with Gary, I will also just plug our own show. I would encourage people who don't listen to our Patreon show, especially now the five of us are back together. I feel like this next episode is going to be great. So
I agree.
Please sign up. Get it as a gift for someone who doesn't even know what it means. You know, turn a total stranger onto our show.
And please, for the love of God, send us a video of you giving them that gift.
Yeah, we did talk about that instead of the Kimmel thing where it's like tell your kids ruin their Halloween by giving them candy. What we want you to do is gift your kid a Patreon subscription to our show and then videotape them and tell them Santa got them a Patreon to Watercooler.
I know you asked for a puppy, but
I got you this subscription
to a podcast.
Yes.
So there you go. Also,
I love it.
Follow me on Twitter, Matt Fondiler.
That's right. And butt quill. That's for shamaning, right?
That's right.
That's what you take if you're shamaning.
That's actually one of the side effects.
It's a side effect. I had them severely confused.
Be careful with buckquill.
Okay, noted. All right, Doss, what's up with you?
Well, I just want to, we briefly touched on it, but I want to make everyone aware of a fabulous organization that's really doing the Lord's work. Of course, I'm speaking of the HFS.
Yes.
Historical Society for Hot Spoon Food. Thanks to a generous grant.
Wow,
from
I
the
can't believe. I can't. That they just make
HSF.
They just make this.
We are able to do the soup or bowl.
That's right.
They really make the soup herbal official.
Yeah.
Like it was just a fun idea that we
it was
had,
a joke
but now
it's real, dude.
It's the Society for Hot Spoon
This
Food.
is what we will be remembered for.
The Historical Society. Hot Spoon Food.
Oh, that's interesting. You're right. It is the Historical Society. And I don't know if you guys know this, but they're actually headquartered in San Francisco. So it's HSF.
SF.
Yeah. Foundation.
I know. Now I'm getting confused.
It's the SFHS. SFHF.
Yeah.
Sure.
Anyway, donate. Pull. We're all pulling for the guys over there. It's a nonprofit, 501c3 tax deduct.
501 HSF.
Yeah. So thanks, guys.
Yes, thank you. And as for me, just check out the Patreon, patreon.com/watercooler. Very nice and easy. Makes a great gift, and we'll see you there later this week. Thank you again for listening. We love you.